everybody, Ethan Newberry here for another GingerRunner.com review. Today we are reviewing the Newton MV2, or MV squared. This shoe's pretty rad. It's Newton's new answer to the zero drop craze that everyone's been wanting to get into. It's extremely minimal, extremely light, and extremely fast. Good all around shoe. Let's get into the review. Things I like. Obviously, lightweight. It might be the lightest thing I own. It's under 6 ounces. It's ridiculous. I'm not even holding anything. I'm holding air in both hands. Another thing I like is that it is zero drop. Finally, Newton has come out with a shoe that is not 4mm drop or 2mm drop. It is zero. That means from heel to toe, there is zero difference in height. One added benefit is that they do add a 3mm lift that you can put under the heel to help you transition from a 3mm to a zero, which I'm actually doing right now, and it's great. It's a nice little addition they include in the box. Interesting coming from a Newton, but I like that it's resilient to dirt and wear. I put many miles on this shoe and it is barely worn, both in heel and in forefoot. Obviously I don't hit much on my heel, but the forefoot, there's still plenty of tread pattern. Now, things that I didn't like, the lacing system. I'm not a big fan of whatever design they came up with to have the laces and the tongue and the upper meet. It never feels like I have the shoe tight enough, and it always feels like the shoe is too tight. That's difficult to explain, but it's one of those things that like irks me. I feel like I should always be tightening them and loosening them at the same time. Now granted, removing these laces and putting in some sort of quick zip or anything like that, maybe even a boa system if you can get a custom boa system, that might fix that. But I don't know if it's the fabric on the upper or the loose tongue or what, but I never feel like it's right. Another thing I don't like is the material. Newton, you're still using pretty rough material for your upper. I tried going barefoot in this and got some pretty serious blisters where the tongue transitions into the sides of the upper. Not quite sure what's going on, but this stuff is pretty thick and doesn't really soften even after a bunch of wear. Boo. And finally, the lugs. Now granted it is a zero drop shoe, it is minimalist because there's very little cushioning. But based off the lug system that I'm used to in other Newtons, these don't have a lot of lift, lever, or response. That's kind of a downside for me. So overall, it's a great shoe. It's extremely light, it's extremely fast. If you're looking for a super minimal shoe that incorporates the Newton lug system, definitely give these a shot, at least try them on. It took me a good 6 to 7 weeks to transition into this shoe comfortably without tearing up my calves. So I encourage you guys to make that transition slow. They're fantastic for forefoot runners, obviously, or natural runners, especially if you're really fast, like I am not. Now let's get on with the points. Quality, I give the shoe 4 out of 5. It obviously is resilient to wear, to dirt. I put so many miles in this thing and you can barely tell that it's really worn. The laces show signs of dirt, but that's about it. It's great, 4 out of 5. Comfort, I give this thing 3 out of 5, obviously because I had to transition a bit to the zero drop shoes, but once you get into them, and if you're especially used to minimalist, I think you'll really dig it. The only uncomfortable part was the upper and the tongue, the transition into the upper. It did get uncomfortable at times. Price, I have to give it another 3 out of 5 because at $125, this minimal reduced shoe is pretty expensive. Shoe brands are now talking about using less and costing less. This does use less, but still costs a lot. 125 bucks is a lot, 3 out of 5. And finally, looks. I give this shoe 3 out of 5. I've given Newton shoes in the past much higher scores because of the way they look, but this one just doesn't really meet up to the Newton standards. Yes, it incorporates bright colors like the orange and the yellow, but I think they could have done more, and they probably will. Overall, the Newton MV squared gets a 13 out of 20. Definitely check it out if you are used to the Newton system of lugs, or if you're new to forefoot running or natural running, also check it out. I would also check out some of the Newton's other shoes like the lightweight trainers and the Gravitas, the distances. They might be a better shoe for longer distances. This one's definitely suited for short, fast distances. So that's it. That's another review from me, Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner. You guys follow me on Twitter at the Ginger Runner, also on Facebook, facebook.com/thegingerrunner, or just visit GingerRunner.com. Subscribe to this channel. I have reviews coming out all the time. That's it. We'll see you guys next time. Train hard, race harder, party hardest. Peace.